What? Greetings, cyberdogs and citizens of the interbubs. This is ReNDoG coming at you from the Berry Pooper 9000 in another episode of Modded Minecraft from the FoolCraft 2 server. How's everybody out there doing today? I'm doing fantastic, thank you. A little bit gassy, to be honest. I've been dining on plump berries for a couple of days now, and it's starting to play havoc on my digestive system, if I'm going to tell you the honest truth. The awesome thing is, though, take a look at this. I have been able to generate an insane amount of Ren juice for Team Serious, almost a full iron chest worth of juiceage, which is awesome. My teammates should now not have any problems with food for the next couple of weeks at least, and every time I've been logging onto the server, I've been coming to do a little bit of poopage and making some more juice over here. So yeah, my job is done. End of FoolCraft 2. Thanks for watching, everybody. No, I'm kidding, but this is a really awesome starter food farm, if you ask me. I'm kind of proud of this. Now, I've logged on early this morning, my friends. I am in the mood for some modded Minecraft today. Want to spend a lot of time playing, but I gotta tell you, I'm a little bit overwhelmed right now. I've logged into the server, and there's a whole bunch of insane stuff around here. What has Team Serious been up to? Stressmonster's gone absolutely crazy in here. Whole bunch of machines. I have no idea what any of this jazz does. There's a whole bunch of multicolored cows up in the business over here. The colossal chest is gone. I'm freaking confused. There's a locomotive over here, which is kind of awesome, and it doesn't stop here, guys. I mean, there's freaking teddy bears and Rubik's cubes and a whole bunch of weirdness around the place. Also, the master builder, Good Times with Scar, has clearly been up to some business. Oh my goodness, that is hurting my eyes. Hold on, let me just change this to fast. That fixes that problem. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, look at this. Scar has been making some epic stuff out here, hasn't he? Look at this. We've got like a fallen down tree as our bridge into the little Team Serious hole. That's pretty sweet. We got a freaking nether portal already. And all the way over here on this plateau looks like a beautiful little Tinker's Smeltery workshop thing. Oh man, Scar, you are an absolute genius. Look at this. Everything that we need for Tinker's construct is right here. We've got a Tinker's Smeltery already freaking brimming over with molten stuff. That's absolutely insane. We got a whole bunch of stuff in here. Ooh, infinity. I think that's actually really good stuff. I think that's maybe the best stuff you can get. And I think, yes, this comes from a cow that Stressmonster found. I saw it in her last episode. Oh man, that's awesome. So at some point we can make for ourselves some pretty decent tools. Really, really sweet. Man, that is an absolutely massive smeltery. So yeah, Team Serious doing the work, baby. We are kicking some butt over here. And by we, I mean Stressmonster and Good Times with Scar. They've clearly been doing a lot more than the ReNDoG. So today, I need to find something to do that's sort of going to bring us in line with what our teammates are doing. And I've got an idea. How beautiful is that, by the way? I love it, man. That looks so cool. I've got an idea. Now, these cows over here, right? These are multicolored cows. In fact, I woke up this morning thinking about these cows. Kind of strange, I know, but I was supposed to be recording FoolCraft today, so my subconscious is all FoolCrafting right now. And these cows are kind of interesting. These are fluid cows from Move Fluids mod, and what these bad boys do is they produce materials, or materials, I suppose they produce like stuff. It's difficult to explain. Say, for example, you find an iron fluid cow. Right? If you milk that iron fluid cow, you will milk literally molten iron out of that freaking cow's udder or its butthole. It's unclear which hole it comes out of. But you can get iron from an iron fluid cow. Same goes for lava, same goes for a whole bunch of amazing stuff, including all of those liquids that we saw in the smelter over there, right? I do believe that Stress has found an infinity cow, which means we can literally milk infinity out of an infinity fluid cow. Not entirely sure how that works from a biological perspective. I mean, if molten lava is coming out of a cow's udder, I'm just thinking steakage. You know what I'm saying? But Apparently it does. This is Minecraft, right? In fact, this is modded Minecraft. Let's not question the science up in this business. Anyway, I want to try today to find a way to automatically milk these cows, okay? I think that's going to be a really cool thing that we can do for Team Serious. I want to try and milk those cows and get all of the liquids out of their butts to some place close to the smeltery over here so that we can put those liquids into the smeltery and turn those liquids into blocks that we could use for modded Minecraft over here, right? So that's the plan. I have no idea how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a little bit of research, get myself prepared, and let's see if we can start automatically milking very strange colored cows. Okay, I think I have just found the perfect location for a brand new fluid cow milkage facility of doom. And we're going to be putting it right behind the Tinker's Smeltery over here. I've already started working on the foundations, and the reason that I want it down here, guys, is because we're going to need this smeltery to turn all of the juices that we milk out of those cows into blocks. Say, for example, we start milking an iron cow, right, that produces liquid iron. We'll need to put that iron into the smeltery so that we can turn it into a block of iron, just like so, right? So we'll be able to put that liquid iron into here, and then we'll be able to turn it into a block of iron just like this, right? So I kind of wanted all of that stuff to be pretty close to the smeltery because these two facilities are going to be working quite closely with each other. I've just been setting up the foundations of this bad boy over here. I got an idea in my head about how exactly we are going to be milking these fluid cows. The problem is that we're going to need some resources for this and some pretty difficult to get resources. Let me just make a few more of these beautiful chiseled blocks. I think it's this one. Is it that one? Yes, that's the one. But yeah, we're going to need some pretty big amounts of resources. Well, not really that bad, but what we are going to need is some ender pearls. And, well, there aren't a lot of endermen around here, and I don't fancy spending my night times here on this server waiting for endermen to spawn because, well, Iskall and Stress are currently on the server too, and I'm sure they'd want to sleep also when the sun goes down. I think, however, we might be able to get a few endermen from the nether. As I recall, I think endermen are supposed to spawn in the nether. So let me finish off working on this foundation, guys, and we can head to the nether for a little bit of a dangerous adventure. I need to get myself about a stack of ender pearls, I guess. That's what we're going to need for today's task. So, yeah, not really looking forward to this part of the episode, but hey, carpe freaking diem, right? In the history of bad ReNDoG ideas, this probably ranks quite close to the top, Cyber Diggity Dogs. Going into the nether to hunt endermen? Am I freaking crazy? Well, probably. And this is probably going to result in a facepalm. But guys, I need the ender pearls. It has to be done. I'm feeling quite confident though. I'm kitted out right now, guys. Take a look at this. I found a sword called a Torment in one of the chests. This sword was found in a weapons case loot by one of Team Serious. It's got 11 attack damage on it, which is pretty freaking awesome. I've also made myself a complete set of obsidian armor. And to make obsidian armor, all you got to do is make all the pieces out of obsidian. And if you wear the full armor set, you get a bonus. Take a look at this. 20 max health, 5 armor toughness, 4 armor, and 0.75 knockback resistance. Not that that matters. But the point is, this is some sweet armor that I've got going on right now, guys. And we should be okay. I've got a stack of Ren juice and some of my own poop in my inventory, which probably should help us out too. So let's get in here with the sacred pile of Ren poop and see if we can kill some endermen. I don't know if endermen are going to be spawning in the nether in FoolCraft 2. I'm hoping so. It'd be quite cool to take a look around here anyway, and we could actually pick up some decent resources around here too. We can look for some beautiful resources in the nether, and it's kind of cool in here, isn't it? Look at this place. It's looking beautiful, man. It's not scary at all. I don't hear any sounds of death. I don't see any freaking spider. Oh, spiders! That's what I was scared of. A freaking giant spider. Oh, geez, heat scar spider. Okay, wow, that actually did damage to me. Wait, did it turn into a whole bunch of little spiders? It did. Okay, this is bad. Okay, this is bad. This is very bad. I walked into freaking fire also. Get out of my face, spiders. Okay, this is a bad idea. This is a really bad idea. I also don't see any endermen around here. Let's see if we can go try and find and spot some. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna definitely die down here, aren't I? I'm telling you now, man. What is that thing? What is this little thing? Is that a hostile thingy? No, it's a little imp. He's freaking awesome. He's not attacking me though, so I'm going to leave him alone. But yeah, look at this. There's a bunch of resources in here that we can collect if we want, right? What is this? Nether prosperity ore, lapis lazuli, a bunch of coal. We actually do need quite a lot of coal. I'll take some of that. Yeah, Stressmonster told me we need a bunch of coal for her machines. So wherever I see coal, I think I'll collect some of that jazz. But yeah, let's have a look. Any Enderman to be seen in the near vicinity? There's a whole bunch of uranium down there, which I approve of. No Enderman though. Let me spend a little bit of time down here, guys. See if I can spawn a couple of ender butts. Abort mission! Abort! This isn't gonna work. This is a really dumb idea. I've been down here for about 20 minutes, guys. I've seen no freaking Enderman around here, and I just asked in chat whether or not Enderman spawn in the nether, and Stress says, I've got a spawner. Smiley face. I'm a freaking idiot. Okay, let's head back to Team Serious base, see if we can find Stressmonster's spawner. And yeah, who goes to the nether without a bow? ReNDoG, the freaking derp-faced idiot. So when Stress told me she had an Enderman spawner, I didn't realize that she meant she had an actual Enderman spawner. Take a look at this. There is a transport thingy over here, an obsidian chest transporter. It looks like there is a literal Enderman spawner in this transport machine, which is kind of freaking awesome. And I guess this is what we can use to spawn some Endermen. I kind of want to do it outside, but I can't jump up the platform. So I guess we're going to do it in here. I mean, maybe what we should do is do it in somewhere safe that isn't going to result in, well, a lot of death, I suppose. I guess we can throw this down to get up the stairs. Okay, we can do it that way. Okay, so let's throw that down, jump up here, pick it back up, and go find a decent place to spawn some Endermen. This is going to go horribly wrong, isn't it, guys? Jeez. Well, it's taken about half a year, but I've finally got to the foundations of the fluid cow factory. I think this is a perfect place to spawn some Endermen. And by the way, if you're wondering about how to make this transporter thing, pretty easy, man. A block of obsidian and some stickage. That's pretty sweet. And if you find a spawner in your world that spawns Endermen, or I guess any spawner that spawns anything, you can actually pick that spawner up. And if we right click over here, there we go. Yeah, we're actually going to place the spawner down, and with this thing we'll be able to pick it up again. Wow, that is OP. But that is absolutely awesome. Okay, so there's the Enderman spawner. Let's try and spawn ourselves a couple of ender butts over here, and I guess I got to try and make a nice little safe Enderman killing machine thingy. And yeah, we'll just kill them sort of inside of this hole. Nothing's going to go wrong, right? Let's try and get a couple of these Endermen to spawn, although I suppose it is daytime right now, so they're not going to be spawning inside a daytime. So I suppose we're going to have to do a little something like this. Let's dig out like a chamber, I suppose. A little Enderman spawning chamber. That's going to be the second facepalm of today, guys. ReNDoG trying to spawn Enderman in the daytime. Nice work, Ren. Freaking idiot. Alright, let's try this again. I've made a little chamber over here for the Enderman. Let's have a look if they're going to spawn inside there. There might be a little bit too much light coming into this chamber. So if we block this off, make it nice and dark, maybe we can have a little bit of light coming in here so that we can actually see what is going down over here. And hopefully that should spawn some Endermen. I guess I could make a little bit more space around here too. I don't want to make too big of a cavern down here though, because this is sort of digging into the area underneath Scar's amazing smeltery facility. Don't want to ruin the look of that. Oh, and yeah, actually we've dug into, well, it looks like the foundations of the smeltery itself. So that's not a good thing. Also, why are no Endermen spawning right now? I guess we need a little bit of a bigger chamber. And I suppose if we block off the light completely, they should spawn there. Oh, do they need a little bit more height above them? We might need to open up a little bit more height. Do Endermen need 4 blocks high to spawn? I think so. Maybe. Don't ask me these technical questions. I don't know the answers to them. And this is literally digging directly underneath Scar's build. So I'm getting a little bit worried right now. Don't want to ruin anything. We did get the Cobble Gobble quest though, so that's kind of sweet. And I suppose we need to change that to dirt also. Okay, so this was probably a very bad place to dig a hole. I'm sorry, Scar, I may have messed up your build over here, but I'm trying to spawn Enderman. Daddy Iskall is in the house. He's come to help us out, guys. I finally figured out why those freaking Endermen are not spawning. It's cause of a mega torch that we've got in the base. A mega torch stops all mobs spawning in, I think, a 64 by 64 area. So no wonder the Endermen are not spawning. Let's take down the mega torch for now. It is keeping our entire area nice and safe, but I need to spawn some Endermen right now. So for now, we'll take the mega torch down. I'm such an idiot, guys. You know, whenever I play modded Minecraft, it takes me literally an entire day to make an episode because I'm so stupid sometimes. I'm so bad at this. Anyway, those Endermen should be spawning now in our little Enderman cave, and let's have a look if they actually do. I suppose I should move it a little. There they are. Okay, there's a bunch of them there. All right, let's try now and kill these ender butts without any face palmage. All right, they should not be able to warp to me, so I'm just gonna look at them. Hi there. Hi there. Nice legs. Get wrecked. Yeah, take it to the freaking ender legs. Nice. Jeez, this sword actually doesn't do a lot of damage, and I don't think we actually got an ender pearl from that one. Hi, guy. What's cracking? Yeah, you got a piece of dirt there. That's very cute, but also it's wrong. Get dead, you freaking bastard. Come on. Okay, did we get an ender pearl from that one? No. Okay, these Endermen are not dropping ender pearls, which is kind of weird. Maybe what we should do is add another block here, just to try and increase the amount of spawnage, and we can get a couple of them here too. All right, I guess I just got to do this for a couple minutes and get as many ender pearls in my belly as possible, and then get that mega torch back up, and then we can finally start milking some cows, guys. Jeez. Finally, a stack of ender pearls has been gathered. But we've got an Enderman in Team Serious base right now. I think he must have teleported here from where I was killing them. Let's get rid of this freaking spawner though, shall we? Oops, nope, that was cute, but also very wrong. I'm going to put this right back where I found it. I'm not interested in spawning any more Endermen. This has been a little bit of a precarious situation. Let's put the mega torch back down again. Is that going to make that Enderman disappear? No. Okay, it looks like we're going to have to kill him manually. Hi, dude. What's cracking? Hello, Enderman. I'm looking at you, bro. Oh, jeez. Okay, hang on. I think he's coming for me. I'm going to have to hide in here. He's zoomed away somewhere. Hopefully, he's disappeared for good. Oh, yes, the mega torch has probably stopped him coming back. So, all right, let's get back to business, guys. Okay, let's waste the ender pearls too. Good job, Ren. I got 15 ender pearls to work with now. I'm such an idiot. Now, guys, the reason that we need all of these ender pearls is because we are going to be using something called a mechanical user to milk these cows. And to make a mechanical user, we need a resonating redstone crystal, and for that, we need ender shards. To make ender shards, we've got to cut up an ender pearl using a glass cutter, and that is going to give us all the ender shards. We're also going to be using something called an item conduit from Ender.io, and to make an item conduit, we need conduit binder, which is made from a smelting binder composite made out of all of this stuff. But more importantly, we need to make pulsating iron nuggets, and to make a piece of pulsating iron, we need to smelt down an ender pearl with an iron ingot in an alloy smelter, which is over here. So we needed all the ender pearls so that we can start the automatic milkage of these cows, and it's finally time for us to actually play some modded Minecraft. Hi, Enderman, get out of here, dude. You're freaking idiot. Why do you keep coming back? Get out of here. Get out of my face. You freaking idiot. Oh my goodness. We also need some animal nets over here, guys. Take a look at this. Animal nets are pretty cool. They let you pick up animals and entities. To make that, you just need some string and some sticks over here. And basically what we're going to be doing is picking up these cows like this, right? You can pick the cow up with the animal net, and then you can put it back down again. So we're going to be transporting all of these cows to our brand new milking station, and let me get all of the machines and the pipages and everything that we need for this, and then we can start setting up a factory. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. After a full morning of facepalms and dirtfish cyberdogs, I'm finally ready to do my favorite thing in modded Minecraft, which is to try and create some crazy contraption that's actually going to do something useful. So let's see if we can do this. Here's the plan, my friends. We are going to try and create a facility that is going to automatically milk these fluid cows that Stressmonster has been gathering. We'll be able to then put those fluids into the Tinker's smeltery to create blocks of different materials, and that's going to be kind of useful. So here's what we're going to do. I've got a Hermitron booster box here filled with fluid cows, and I am going to try and make some pods that are going to automatically milk them. Cow, dude, you got to stay in here for this demonstration, all right? You're not allowed to get out. Okay, so take a look at this. I've got a whole bunch of blocks in my inventory that I think we're going to need for today's task. I kind of know what I'm doing, but I don't know. Time will tell. We're going to be using something called a mechanical user to milk these cows. And basically what a mechanical user block does is it acts as a player. We can tell a mechanical user block to right-click on this cow, right? And that means we can tell a mechanical user to right-click with a bucket on this cow. Okay, so we're going to stick a bucket in there, and what we need to do is change this mechanical user to use an entity, right? Because that cow is an entity. So we're going to be right-clicking on an entity using the mechanical user, and as you guys can see, it actually milked that cow. We now have a bucket of hooch. I don't know what hooch is. It's probably not something we can put in the smeltery, so this isn't the cow that we need, but the mechanical user thing actually works. Okay, fantastic. Now, next thing that we need to do, of course, is to get this bucket of hooch out of the mechanical user and stored into some sort of a tank. We're going to be using something called a fluid tank to do this, and let me show you how to make a fluid tank. It's from Ender.io. It's very simple to make. You just need a bunch of iron and some glass and some iron bars, but basically it's expensive on the iron, but not too bad to make. Now, we're going to try and get that bucket of liquid into this fluid tank over here, right? And to do that, we're going to be using some item conduits. Now, we're going to have to do a little bit of a temporary storage thing right now, because if we were to put the buckets of hooch directly into the fluid tank, it's not quite going to work out the way that we want it to. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to be sending the bucket that gets filled up with whatever is coming out of the cow into some sort of a storage, right? Into some sort of a temporary storage. So let's send that bucket into a chest. And we're going to be doing that using these item conduits that I showed you guys how to make a little bit earlier. And we're going to be changing this to always active. Okay, so when a mechanical user actually milks the freaking cow and gets that juice out of the cow, we want that juice to end up in this chest over here. So we're going to change this connection to send, and there we go. Now we've got the hooch inside of the chest. Next step, of course, is for us to get the hooch out of the chest and into the fluid tank. So we're going to be doing that again, of course, with some of this beautiful item conduit action, and we're going to be changing this to always active, and then we're going to be changing this to insert like so, and what we should see is that hooch going into the fluid tank, and then that hooch being stored inside of that fluid tank. So what we could potentially do up here at the smeltery is set up a bunch of these fluid tanks, maybe over here, right? And we could use some pipes and stuff to get all of the fluids that we take out of the cows to be deposited directly into these tanks. And then the other members of Team Series can use buckets to extract that liquid out of the fluid tank, like so, and then stick it into the frickin' thing over here, right? The smeltery. I think that's how it's going to work. We might have to transfer the fluid directly into the smeltery, but we'll figure that out in the next episode. Now, the next step for this little cow milking thing is to get this bucket back into that mechanical user over there, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to install a chest behind the fluid tank over here, and we're going to configure the fluid tank to push items into this section of it that is connected to the chest. So now we've got the fluid tank pushing the bucket into this chest. You guys picking up what I'm putting down over here, right? Finally, what we're going to need to do, of course, is to send that bucket back into the mechanical user. So we're going to run another cable, probably, we could probably actually just use the same connection over here, right? So we could run another item conduit coming out like this, and maybe we'll have the item conduit coming out of this side of the chest, get rid of this one. And what we can do is now send that bucket back into that mechanical user. So let's just add a nice janky connection over here. There we go. Actually, that looks absolutely awful, doesn't it? There we go. Let's just make that look a little bit better. Now, this is going to be set to always active, and that is going to extract the bucket into the mechanical user. What we're going to have to do, of course, though, is set that mechanical user connection up here this connection over here to send and receive, right? We want it to be in and out, so it's going to get its bucket back. Now, unfortunately, we've got a little bit of a loop going on over here, right? I think that bucket is probably traveling around and around, and it's getting stuck in various places, so we're going to have to try and set up some sort of a filtering system to ensure that when the bucket ends up back in the mechanical user, it stays here and it doesn't get sent into the chest automatically, right? Because what's going to happen here is the bucket's going to come up via this item conduit and then just go straight into this chest or into the mechanical user. So we need to use something called a filter. Now I need to go get that bucket of hooch back. Where did I put it? Is it inside of the fluid tank? No, here it is. Okay, the bucket of hooch. We're going to use the bucket of hooch as a filter, right? Now take a look at this. This is where it's going to get really, really interesting. Let's just stock up on some rain juice over there. Now, we want to make sure that the only thing coming out of this mechanical user is hooch, right? Because this is the hooch cow that we are currently milking. So take a look at this. In this item conduit connection, we are going to be going to the out channel, and we are going to be adding something called a basic item filter. And the basic item filter is pretty easy to make. All you need is some paper and some hoppers. So expensive on the iron, but we got a ton of that, so that doesn't really matter. And what we want to do is we want to say the only item that can come out of this connection is a bucket of hooch. Right? So the bucket is going to stay inside of the mechanical user until it gets turned into a bucket of hooch. I think that in FoolCraft 2, you can't just infinitely milk these fluid cows. They kind of have like a cooldown to them, right? So it's going to take a while. There we go. We saw that bucket of hooch getting milked out of that cow over there. I think that in FoolCraft 2, the fluid cows can't be milked infinitely. So you can't just milk them over and over again like you can a vanilla cow. I think there's a cooldown to them. So the bucket is going to sit inside of the mechanical user until it actually milks the cow. Then, through this filter, through this extract filter, we are going to be sending that hooch into this chest, and then this chest is going to be sending that bucket directly into the fluid tank down there. Okay, I think I've made a little bit of a mistake here, so I'm going to make a small tweak to our design over here. Instead of this item conduit going back into the mechanical filter, or the mechanical user rather, I want it to go back into the chest. I want this chest to act as a kind of intermediary between the mechanical user and the fluid tank over there, right? And this is to try and sort of reduce lag and stuff, because this is an infinite loop, of course, right? The mechanical user is going to be continually milking the cows, and we don't want to lag the server. So I kind of want to try and make it as lag friendly as possible by installing this sort of intermediary over here. Now we've got the filter set up over here for that bucket, and what we're going to need to do here, of course, is do exactly the same but in the opposite direction. So we're going to change the connection to the chest to in and out also, but this time this chest is only going to be extracting an empty bucket, right? So this connection is only going to be sending empty buckets back to the mechanical user. And what we can see now is it's actually starting to work over here, right? We saw that bucket of hooch going down into the fluid tank, and that bucket should have arrived back into this chest, or back into the mechanical user, although it doesn't seem to be working quite the way that we want it to. What's going on over here? Okay, it looks like the bucket is kind of using itself in the fluid tank over here, kind of interestingly. All right, that's kind of curious. I'm gonna have to try and figure out what's going on there. But essentially what we've done over here is we've created an infinite milking loop, right? The bucket is going to arrive in the mechanical user. It's going to sit in the mechanical user until it can milk the cow. Once it's milked the cow, it is then going to head over to this chest, and then this chest is going to send that milked bucket into the fluid tank. And we probably need to add another filter over here for the hooch, right? So let's add one more extract filter over here, and we're going to make this hooch only. So this item conduit connection can only send a full bucket of liquid into the fluid tank, and it won't be sending the empty buckets. That means this chest is going to be collecting empty buckets and full buckets when they are available, but for some reason this bucket is now not being sent into the mechanical user. Oh, this needs to be changed to always active. Okay, there we go. So now the bucket's going to land up back in the mechanical user, and we probably need to send this one to always active also. And this is this also set to always active? Probably not. Let's just make sure that's always active. Yeah, that's always active. And this one is always active too. Yes. Okay, great. So the loop has been completed. The bucket goes to the mechanical user. The bucket milks the cow, then gets sent into the chest. The chest sends the full bucket into the fluid tank to get stored, and then the fluid tank sends the empty bucket back into the system. I'm going to watch this now to see if it's actually working correctly, and then I want to try find a way to compress this system underneath the pods so that this place looks a little bit neater, because it's looking a little bit janky right now. But yeah, it's actually going to work, guys. This is awesome. Oh, the satisfaction of turning a complete mess of pipage and machines into a nicely compressed little mechanism. I'll never get over it, guys. Absolutely love it. Take a look at this. This is all you need to make to automatically milk fluid cows in FoolCraft 2. And it definitely works. And I've made it into a really cool little small thing over here. I want to test this bad boy out with you guys now. We need to set the filters, of course. So I'm going to try a brand new fluid cow. This hooch cow is not necessarily the one that we want to use. I want to see if we can get one that's actually useful. And while the mechanical user is now going to sit on the very bottom of this thing, let's just get this thing working correctly. Change it to entity just like we did in the demonstration. Put a bucket in there, and I guess get some quite clear glass down here and place this cow over here. That's green, which hopefully is a pulsating iron cow. That would be absolutely amazing. We should probably try and get some fluid out of this thing right off the bat so that we could set the filters. Let's have a look if that mechanical user has actually milked that thing yet. No, not yet, but hopefully it will milk it in a moment. I hope that it does actually milk the cow from the bottom up. The previous design, of course, had the mechanical user above the cow, but that should do the trick. Come on, cow, deliver your liquid, dude. Oh, baby, now we be cooking with fluid cow gas, cyber dogs. Molten pulsating iron. That's amazing. Pulsating iron is a very important material in FoolCraft 2, and now we're going to have an infinite supply of it. That's fantastic. Let's get the filter set up, though, over here. So in the node coming out of the mechanical user, we only want a bucket of molten pulsating iron coming out of there, and that will always be active. That's going to be going into the chest. Then we want to be sending molten pulsating iron via the filter into the fluid tank, and then the fluid tank is going to be sucking out that bucket into the chest, and then the chest is going to be sending the bucket back into the top chest, right? Then we want to be setting the out of this thing. This is going to be in and out, right? There we go. Yeah, that's going to be in and out, and the chest is going to be sending an empty bucket back into, yeah, there we go, empty bucket back into the mechanical user, and that's going to be turned to always active. Okay, so all of the filters should now be set up. Let's stick the pulsating bucket of molten awesomeness back in there. It should end up in the fluid tank. Yes, there it is. Nice, molten pulsating iron liquid form, and that bucket should now be back in the mechanical user, awaiting to milk the cow again. It actually works, guys. That is fantastic. I'm so happy about that. Okay, so what I need to do is set up pods like this for all of the different fluid cows that we have, and then we need to find a way to get all of those fluids up to an area next to our Tinker Smeltery over here. And well, if we can achieve that, then we've actually done something awesome today. This is epic. What an awesome day of modded Minecraft it has been, Cyberdogs. I've had so much fun this afternoon, and I'm very pleased to announce our fluid cow factory is up and running, and it is cooking something fierce, baby. Look at this, man. I've installed a pod for 10 different fluid cows, and I've gone through all of the fluid cows that Stress and Scar have found so far, and I've chosen the ones that are most useful for now, I think. We can always add more pods as we find more cows, but we've got 10 fluid cows up here, and I want to show you guys the fluids that we are going to be collecting over here. And I've set up all of this jazz. I've got all of the filters installed, and as you can see, we are collecting this fluid like nobody's business over here. Let's start over here. We are getting molten pulsating iron, molten obsidian, cobalt, electrical steel, infinity, which is awesome, molten gold. We've got vibrant alloy over here. We've got dark steel, Terra Steel, and Manulin, and all of those materials are going to be pretty useful for Team SRS in the beginning of FoolCraft 2, so that's looking fantastic. Now, I'm also very pleased to announce that I think these fluid cow milking machines are actually lagless. One of the things that I'm worried about is this mechanical user over here, okay? This is the machine that was responsible for a lot of the lag in FoolCraft 1, and that's because it runs eternally. If you have it always on, it's always going. Now, if we have a look at this particular pod over here, the molten pulsating iron pod, we can see that the tank is completely filled up. And when that actually happens, what happens is the bucket ends up in the tank, and it doesn't actually end up in the mechanical user, which means that this user is actually not running at the moment. It's only going to run when there's a bucket inside of it. So I think this little farm is not going to generate lag when it gets completely filled up, and that makes me really happy. I'm going to have to monitor this though over the next coming days just to make sure that we don't lag out the server. Now there's one last thing that I would like to do, and that is to send all of this fluid up to a tank on the surface so that Team Serious can get their hands on it quite easily. And take a look at this, man. We're going to be using something called a fluid conduit from Ender.io, and it's pretty cool and very easy to make. All you need is some conduit binder and some quite clear glass. So you have to chisel normal glass into quite clear glass, and what we can literally do is just connect one of these fluid pipes all the way up like this. Actually, let's just make sure that it's nice and symmetrical. Let's make it go up like this, and this is going to go all the way up into the tank at the top, and we should see some of that fluid now flowing out. Hang on, we'll probably have to set this to push over here, right? So let's set this to push. There we go. We can see all of that delicious juice going all the way up into the tank at the top. A freaking unbelievably awesome, man. Look at this. We should see all of that beautiful pulsating iron fluid arriving here. And I suppose in the next episode we'll probably find a way to maybe automate the block making of this fluid. We're going to have to use this tank somehow, but for now I just want to store it up here, and our fellow fools can come and collect the liquid with a bucket if they want to use it. So let me get all of these tanks connected, guys, and then we can take one last look at the factory and say goodbye for today's episode. It's been freaking awesome. I'm loving this, man. There we go. All of them delicious fluid cow juices flowing up into the tanks on the surface. Unbelievably sweet, man. Just to recap very quickly, because this is a little bit of a complicated build over here, and for those of you guys who want to make this in your own worlds, I just want to make sure that I explained it correctly in this episode. We've got a mechanical user with a bucket milking the fluid cows by having it set to entity and right click. We then have an item conduit with a filter placed in the in and out option that is going to be taking out the bucket of molten liquid that the cow is producing and sending that into a chest. We also have another connection over here that is going to be sending an empty bucket via a filter back into the mechanical user. We then have a third filter over here which is going to be sending the molten pulsating iron into the liquid tank so that it doesn't send those empty buckets into the liquid tank, and then the liquid tank is going to be configured to send the empty bucket into a chest, and that empty bucket is going to be sent via another item conduit into this sort of intermediary chest, which is then going to send the empty bucket back into the mechanical user, and then of course via a liquid pipe all of those liquids are getting pumped up into the liquid chests at the very top there, or the liquid tanks rather at the very top. And that, my friends, is an automatic fluid cow milkage station of doom and epicosity, and I gotta say, man, I'm very happy with how nicely this turned out, how clean it is, and I really do hope it's going to be useful for Team Serious. I'm going to let the guys know that this thing is up and running, and next episode we'll make use of some of these liquids to create some better tools for us right now. This diamond pickaxe just not doing the business. But for now, my friends, I hope you did enjoy the episode. If you did, remember to hit the like button, and if you are new to the series, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also go check out my teammates Stressmonster and Good Times with Scar. We are Team Serious, and things are getting freaking SRS around here, baby. We are making great progress in FoolCraft 2. Thank you for watching, guys. ReNDoG signing out, and we will smell you all in the next fluid cow infested episode. Goodbye, everybody.